always start off videos with the, I don't know what to do with my hands. I need a shower and a shave and a blah blah blah. Wait, what? What? Where did my hair go? My beautiful beard. It's all gone. Oh god. It's Easter. You gotta make yourself look a little less homeless for the family, otherwise they don't want to take pictures with you and you get pushed in the corner. As usual, thank you guys for all the recent likes, comments, the new subscriptions. If you are new to the channel, obviously we do cheap turbo budget LS stuff. And now we're jumping into diesel swap stuff with the Crew Cab K30 square body that I have. If you're new from custom offsets and you saw the truck, thanks for following along. And yeah, after we get this guy sorted out and the twin turbo LS is done, the plan is dive into the LB7 swap with the D-Max swap stuff and Precision Fabrications Square Max swap kit. But let's jump into some work. So popping under here, we do see we went with enough pump I think this time. Lacking in fuel pressure with the Envoy, I had a single 450. This time we have two 400s. I think that's going to be okay. I still have to run the wiring real fast, so that's going to be part of today. I do need to go ahead and this is finger tight, this is finger tight. I think this one's finger tight. Yeah. So I need to start from the fuel rails way up there and just work my way back. Tighten every single fitting. Run the wiring from one of the fuel pump relays up there to one of these fuel pumps, and then I'm just going to leave the other one for now. We will be wiring the Holly to the second fuel pump so it controls it at a certain PSI, but that's for later. Just little stuff lately. Cut the hole bigger for the fuel cell so it stops scratching it. I need to make a mount to mount these two fuel filters up somewhere. I will obviously pull the sheet metal screw out and make an actual nice mount. Came with a good mount that holds them. I don't want to screw them there. I may weld a fixed nut in place or something like that, but a bunch of P-clamps and all of that. The little stuff. Obviously, I did go ahead and wire the truck up so I don't set up my phone. I still need to throw some zip ties because I ended up having to yank on some of it and pull it, and so it made it a little ugly, but your basic aluminum panel just screwed to the firewall with a bunch of relays, fuses, and what we needed. We have the Holly, the dashes, the beautifulness of everything, and I'm actually nervous. I'm rambling so much now. A few little things that I wanted to take care of. The alternator, wiring, and all that stuff. I'm pulling this plug off for the power tap now as I say that. I had just a bunch of random stuff planned that I was going to lay out and do for the Holly outputs. I left all those wires long, obviously, in case. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. So we have the power tap plug, which would have went there. Oop. Which would have went there. We have, today's one of those days already. I am nervous as to get this video out. I've tried filming this video 4 or 5 times, it's just, yeah. Okay, so, I'll try this again. So, yeah, we got the input outputs for the Holly. We have the power tap. Supporting those who support us, and not saying that in any way they support us in sponsorship or anything like that, but Sloppy Mechanics and the Sloppy Mechanics alternator to flex fuel sensor, it was a no-brainer. I couldn't just let it go by and say, yeah, oh look, solve all my wiring issues and make it all pretty in one click for $90-something. I'll do that in a minute. So this is going to let us actually run the alternator wire, run the flex fuel sensor. We do have pumped into the return line. We have our Holly fuel pressure sensor. We have this return follows down, and then down there is the flex fuel sensor. So we're gonna run those wires. We're gonna plug those in. We're going to get some fuel lines tightened up and stuff like that. And then we may see about making some noise with this thing. It's just a bunch of tidying up, getting the last stuff together. So let's jump out there and get into it. A quick once over, I do use TR6 plugs here. I gap them to about 24 to 25 thousandth. Shooting for 20 pounds of boost, that's roughly the plug gap I would shoot for to not get spark blowout. even though this thing does shift, I actually hooked this all up. It's not bolted to the floor, so we can move that. We saw the plugs go in. I have a red wire left here for fuel pump number 1. It's already relayed, fused, good to go. We have a output and an input for another relay. The input will come off of one of the, I believe the inputs for, no, it'd be for an output, obviously. So gray wire from Holly will go to this relay over here, which you guys can barely see. This output will follow down to the other fuel pump. I'm gonna wire both of them right now, but I'm going to leave one fuel pump wire just basically hanging. Actually, wire it up, and then I just want to attach it on the Holly side. So what we're gonna do real quick is get this all wired so we can actually tighten all the fuel lines. I think there's 3 or 4 fittings I have left. Once those are tightened, then I can actually test the fuel system. Mainly testing the fuel system. I can do a TPS auto set also, because I need to reset the TPS because it has a new intake on it now. And then I can make sure the map is changed over to the 5-bar and all that little stuff. The little stuff that I gotta change from the last time this motor ran on this to this time. Now with new turbos and new everything else that it's never seen, I'm not 100% certain it's gonna just fire up and run. I mean, it's Holly. Holly take the wheel should save me. But, there we go. Got a little heat at this heat shrink connector. But, yeah, I'm not no tuner. Hopefully I did all this right. I don't necessarily know if the wiring is going to be right, if it's, I don't know if when I run this wire in a second for the fuel pump, the fuel pump's going to turn on. I don't know if when I run the wire from the solenoid to the starter's going to turn. Go ahead and get a wire ran. 10 gauge, nice good stuff for the fuel pumps. Run this down there, and then run the second one. Get down there, ground it with some black stuff that I got, and then figure out what's going to happen, huh? Rigged is an understatement. We're gonna say a little bit. So this isn't, yeah. This right now, so we got, I actually hooked the tablet back up, never mind. You can tell my head is not here right now, I'm just, okay, so I got that hooked up, I actually did get the fuel pump to turn on, and I had a small leak, which I fixed. Sorry, I'm running back and forth just like crazy right now. The fuel pump issue was, I thought I had it wired funny. I had read Holly likes to ground stuff, so I thought maybe I accidentally wired the relay to the positive trigger thinking it was ground trigger. Yada 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 yada. There was no fuse in the fuse holder. So I wired it one way, tested, realized, wired it back, put the fuse in, and I think now hi camera. So in typical me fashion, didn't have a battery that was ready. Had to go steal it from the K30. Realized didn't have gas that was good. Gonna set the camera up and drop Amazon stuff because, you know, every day is Christmas. Please be what I wanted. It looks like it. It looks like it. Let's see. 3/8 intake temperature sensor. 3/8 ICT bung. Hey, that time it fits. 3rd time's the charm. That's what we should just call this truck, is 3rd time's the charm, because everything has been done 3 times. So that means if it does start and it does run, I can actually pull the intake pipe back off, throw it on the old Tigger table. It's not a tiger. But throw it on the table. I do want to do a bung, obviously, because manifold temperature somewhere there. But I tightened, new plugs, that's good. Those are good, that's good. New grommet, that's good. Found a battery. This is set up, ran a quick starter wire, attached starter wire, starter should be good. I am nervous as crap. I guess what we should do real quick is, actually, I need to get my laptop. I need to yank the tune from this, and I need to change the map sensor over, and then figure out how to do a quick TPS auto set and stuff like that. So, I mean, realistically, I guess we put some fuel in it, and then I'm so nervous. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to get some fuel. Oh, dang, I need to get fuel. Well, YouTube magic, fuel. Ta-da, YouTube magic. So, we have gas. I got a funnel. So, yeah, let's go in the house, grab the laptop, get back out here in a second, get the tune stolen off this thing, get that modified, and figure out how to do that with Google. Oh, I am nervous. So, the failed is because we are going to get from ECU, send to ECU. So what we're doing is loading the adjustments on the tune there to the Holly itself. If you made changes that require the power to be cycled, please turn the ignition. Okay, so go ahead and just cycle. Oh yeah, that's not on because boy, I am so nervous. Well, okay, it says that's good and that's good. I guess we go ahead and try and crank it maybe? I'm not sure. 12 gauge channel. That's what I'm looking for. I want to do a TPS auto set real quick because I am not certain if my TPS is 100% set. I mean, it says round 2. Okay, that is good. Flip the camera up so I can see what I'm doing. Get the damn hood off me. It's actually nice enough weather. Let's go ahead and nerves like this every first start of a motor. Nerves like this. It has oil in it. It'll be good. I hate this shit. Squeaky door. I don't know. Did you just light it off or what? Batteries are getting low. I think I need to add a little bit of idle screw to it. So, set you guys down. Set you down. A little bit of idle screw. Louder than shit.
more out of the screw. That's loud. Oh boy, so obviously we got tuning to do, we got a lot of little stuff to do, but it's not leaking and it's trying to idle. I gotta get my phone out and film all of this, so yeah, I'll get back to you guys in a second.
I did it. Woo! So, it runs. What more can I ask for personally? I'll sell that thing right now. Who wants it? I'm so jazzed. My heart is 1,000 miles a minute. Look at that little guy. Just a little twin turbo LS S10. Nothing better, right? So, obviously, there's still things to do. I pulled the steering shaft off. I mainly wanted to get under here to see if there's leaks. I don't see any. I'm just so stoked. Yeah, so I did get the steering stuff sorted. So it does actually have steering. I just need to redo the steering shaft. Because like I said, this truck's name is time 3. Because we have to do that a 3rd time too. Actually, I think that's time 2. But it needs to be redone. I don't like how it is. There's little stuff like that. Run a bolt through both of those. Nut on the bottom. Go through now that it's gotten warm. Double check everything. That was an Amazon magical thing too. These are all 4-inch T-bolt clamps and none of them fit. They all tighten right up to the point where you could almost get it on there and then snug it, but yeah, so another T-bolt clamp for that. I still have to pull the wastegates off and put springs into them and all the fittings and figure out how to run the lines and figure out what we're gonna do for boost control, blah blah blah. Different video, different day, obviously. I am just excited. It ran, it idled, it did things, it sounds crazy. I definitely need to go through and see, I think, actually. Yeah, that's probably a vacuum leak. This just sitting on there, probably a vacuum leak. Little stuff like that. Double check all this stuff's in and tightened. Just, yeah, go through, make sure everything I can think of is good, tightened down, secure. Obviously, the P-bolt clamp my life away on all the fittings. I do have a bunch of P-bolt clamps, a bunch of washers, a bunch of stuff like that ready. So, grommets all the wires, you know, get all the things secured to the underbody. Okay. But we'll probably have another video in the next day or so of I want to do the steering shaft, and then I want to start doing the brakes and the line lock, because that's all that's stopping us from test driving it. It runs. We see that. It runs. I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with the rest of the gas. Once it's cooled down, it got to like 130, I think, which isn't hot. It just doesn't have coolant in it right now, so I just let it hang out. Once it cools down, I'm going to go ahead and start tightening up the coolant system, figuring out what we're going to do, all that stuff, and I just, my brain is just immediately running to, let's go start it again. But, there it is. It's a thing, and we're stoked on it. Transmission cooler, obviously. Finish up the legality of headlights, taillights, brake lights, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of stuff we still actually have to do to that truck, but it started. That's a thing. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll let you guys go on this one. Average Joe Builds, we're out of here.